So I just wanted to do this little preamp video here. This is a sluice that I got a while back. You've seen in some of the other videos, and I've changed over now. It has a high and a low mat, and it came with this original V matting in it. I'm holding this mat in. I couldn't think of any other smarter way at the moment than using a pin. I noticed there was holes in the corner of the mat, so I'm not a fan of wing nuts and bolts and stuff. They're just fine, but I've lost a lot of them in the streams, so I'm hoping that this, maybe even tethered with like safety string, could be a smarter option. So you can see it's just a knitting needle, and it does eat up a little bit of that first riffle, but it's one of the lows before it even hits a high. So, and there's a little space behind it, you never know. So, but it did make it completely tight. There's no floating up in this mat. I can't lift it because what I did at the other end here is I took my original riffle bar that comes in and out of here with the attachments, and I really like that setup, and I needed to pin the end, and I didn't want to have a whole bunch of pins and stuff, and I really like these. Were already mounted on here. They're the quick release, so they just pop out. So what I did is cut the bar down at an angle, and if I need to, I can move the bolts back here as a lever point. But what ended up happening was that it's just so short here that this just locks it completely down because of the nice welding that Keen did on it and everything. So underneath here, I guess I can show you. This is what I decided to do because my high and low wasn't long enough, so necessity being the mother of invention. So it just pulls out, sets there, and so I took the expanded steel, used that. I was running with just the original green carpet under there that these come with, but I decided that I wanted to put the old-fashioned burlap in there. I have a whole bunch of it. You can see I've pulled some of the strands out, so it creates these areas where the gold can fall through it even easier. And then this is a smaller ripple because I'm putting this down at the end and I'm hoping to collect fine gold. Then I took their carpet, and that's how I attached the two. They're also duct taped underneath. But if you can see that, I found that when I'm using my Dremel with a grinder, mini grinder bit on there, it actually heats it up and melts it because this is like plasticky or nylon. And so I was able to grind other little grooves in here. Let me get a better. So each one of these lines here, you can see where they are. Using some of the, what is it, Wonder Mat techniques. So these start off, I actually have pen in there so you can see how it goes. So the deepest points, the hole starts off shallow, so I put a big one in there, tilted it, and then ran a smaller grinder bit in there and heated it up. These are just little pit holes because when I've been out on big rivers, that's, you know, some of the crevices you can find are called honey holes. They're round little deposits where things go in and swirl out. So anyways, that's what's under there. Just went crazy a little bit. It's fun to do, gave myself more texture, more chances, and if stuff piles up in there, then you know to take that and create more of that pattern or whatever. Anyhow, that's how that just slaps back down in there. Got the clamp bar to hold the whole thing. So I don't really need to show you all this, but I will. I cut the corners of the last high of the high and low so that when I shove this in, this high actually ramps up, and I've seen when they clamp this down so it gets its depth. I love that. The system that Keen has here is one of my favorites. That clamps this down, holds the end of the mat. There's no floating up. I mean, this thing is just riveted to the ground. This is all riveted to the ground now, and excuse the light. This is what I was trying to show you here. This is that last high ripple. That's not gold. This looks like it through the camera, and it, I don't know if you can see it, it fits on there perfect. It's literally lift on up on it. It was just one of those lucky chances. So pre-ramps, has a flat. There's actually a little bit of ellipse, so stuff could sit in here, and then goes behind there. Now, stirring it up this late, I don't know. You know, could be good or bad. You might want to lay it down. That was the theory of all the fine stuff. But I'm not going to bust these off of the weld. I'm going to leave them on here, and my thought was if I was in super slow, didn't have enough water flow, maybe this would churn up the end and I wouldn't get so much concentrate in here and only have the heavies with still a good fine trapping system. So, could be completely wrong. You never know. Hoping to walk out. I ran this when I was testing this bar, and I had a different clamp at the end, hoping to not have to cut this down. It's replaceable. It's okay. And it was floating a little bit on me, and I just felt like I didn't like the lifting and the moving. I like it to just stay where it is. So running with this now, but what I did like was you know, these things do their job. This is that high and low, and I'm telling you, if you don't like working with a pan a lot, you just want black sand and gold, then just, you know, that's what these mats are all about. Gold hog mats, these, all the different brands. Excuse the room here, we're about to do wood carpeting. So, wood carpeting? Over, tell them we need coffee. We'll see you out there.